I'm Matt Boucher with REIT.com here in San Diego for REITWorld 2012, NAREIT's annual convention for all things REIT. Joining me is Kevin Lindemann, director with SNL Real Estate. So Kevin, 4 years ago we were here in the same spot, and needless to say it was a little different atmosphere. How is the REIT industry positioned now to avoid, following in some of the same pitfalls that happened last time?
4 years ago in San Diego, it was like an episode of The Walking Dead. It was a very tough, biggest one-day drop in the market that we'd ever seen. 4 years ago, it was a real challenge because it challenged the premise that REITs were real estate, and real estate values don't drop that much in one individual day. So I think it probably taught us something about the downside of being publicly traded companies. We all view the fact that there's liquidity as a real advantage to the sector, but there's also risk that you get caught in a sell-off, a broad sell-off in equities. You get caught in the downdraft. I think what we've seen since then is that REITs have been remarkably resilient. They've been able to go back to the capital markets. They've been able to shore up their balance sheets, and what we've seen over the last couple of years is really very strong performance, both by the companies and by the stocks. Investors still are very supportive of the sector. I think companies understand how important it is to keep your balance sheet clean and strong, and be prepared for the inevitable times that the market's going to turn against you.
And as 2012 concludes, what's going to be the enduring theme or story of this year?
I think it's the overall resilience of the sector. The companies have continued to grow, maybe not at quite the pace we would like to see, but they've been able to grow, outperform the broad market. If you look at it on a price-only basis, the REIT index has outperformed the S&P 500 by 200 basis points. If you look at it on a total return basis, it's more like 350 basis points outperformance. So, I think that shows us that there's demand among investors for companies that own hard assets, that are run relatively conservatively, that have strong balance sheets, that have the ability to withstand downturns, and we're all waiting for some economic growth. We're waiting for some job growth, and I think everyone realizes that these companies are going to be very well positioned to benefit when that eventual growth starts to pick up again.
And lastly, looking ahead to 2013, what sector or sectors do you think are best positioned to exceed expectations?
I think 2013 is going to be interesting. One of the things that we've seen recently is the continued emergence of the non-traded REITs. That sector has continued to grow. My firm follows about 60 of them right now. We've seen some of these companies come into the public markets. We have seen the emergence of daily NAV REIT. So I'm going to be curious to see how that part of the REIT investing area continues to evolve.
Kevin, thank you so much for joining us.
Sure.
For more from REITWorld 2012, be sure to visit REIT.com.